All right. Welcome to a special episode of Political Cadence. We feel like we wanted to subtitle this "Breaking News" because we're pretty damn sure there's some breaking
There's
news
just
going on,
breaking
even if they're
news
not even.
constantly the last couple of days.
It's like everything's breaking news right now.
I'm looking for the president of an accident on the way to the restroom.
Yeah,
News is broken.
news is broken. But there's
Was the
certainly
Daily Show's tagline, "When news breaks, we fix it"?
I've not heard that. That's good.
Yeah,
Um,
that was pretty funny.
But we are privileged to have the owner of our network, Rob Wilds, and his sister Brooke with us this time.
Hey.
Welcome.
I'm just happy to be here. There's so much
Welcome.
crazy shit going on.
For sure.
Right. We're here to shake our fist at it, or at least try to break it down. And of course, Will. I'm glad you could join us, Will. You've had some things you had to get taken care of.
Technical,
But,
personal, what is it? Technical difficulties.
yep, keep soldiering on.
Yeah. Yep.
But the breaking news this week, of course, happened Wednesday at around noon.
Well, now, Phil, hang on a second, brother. Hang on a second. You forgot to introduce somebody. Aaron, who's your co-host?
Oh,
Cheers.
Sir.
welcome to Political Cadence with Lisa, Phil, and Aaron, our co-host from California.
Hey,
Boy,
howdy, hey.
this must be tired. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the man
Bill,
in the shop.
could you mute your TV?
Yeah. Give me a
I bet
minute.
Ohio State's playing, aren't they?
Yep. Right now,
where
we're
the
leading.
Go Buckeyes was coming from.
But I got this. Okay, while we're waiting, I got this cool shirt. I've been waiting to pounce on a Muhammad Ali shirt, and I found one at
Oh,
the
nice.
thrift store today. And that was my idol when I was a kid. Because whenever they always had prize fights on Friday night, and I could not go to bed until Ali came out, but I never could finish the fight.
whole
I'd have to
fight.
find out the next day from my parents. But
Too bad you weren't a Mike Tyson fan.
Who's not a Mike Tyson fan?
Right.
well,
That was a joke. Come on.
The baddest man alive.
Where my name?
I float like a butterfly. I sting like a bee. That's why they call me Muhammad Ali.
Ali's
We're not talking about Muhammad Ali shit right now, son. We're talking about me and Mike Tyson. I got a brand new punch that'll make your spleen bleed.
I'm pretty. You're not that pretty, Muhammad. I'm a bad man.
Let me tell you something, Muhammad Ali.
There he is right there. All right.
The thing is, you may be the champion of the world, but you are not a champion of me.
Well, we're gonna make the news kind of like our Jerry Cooney today. We're gonna knock it out here. And so the big event of the last week, we had a political cadence last week where we went over all the usual topics. We had a litany
And
of
then
topics
they had
that
some
we covered.
fun.
And we came up with some fuck ups, even though it was a little bit light on the fuck ups because Trump took 4 or 5 days off right in the middle of the
Right.
right in the middle of the cadence. But
Isn't it sad that when Trump takes a few days off, the country is just so much better for a few days?
God,
right,
fresh air.
it was probably the best Memorial Day vacation that I've had in quite a while. But reality hit home on Wednesday afternoon when in Utah, the political right-wing activist Charlie Kirk was holding one of his events where he fields questions from college students and debates them on the spot. And I think most of the country knows what happened at that point. He was assassinated, and all hell broke loose. And so Lisa wanted to make a PSA right off the top.
We do not condone the violence. Not even against Charlie Kirk.
At all.
Not at all against anyone.
At
Nope.
all.
I'm vehemently anti-gun myself.
Right. So
We're
instead It was a very confused response to what happened. Nobody really knew, least of all the people that were on campus that were in the line of fire. And but the president of the United States seemed to think that it was a very good opportunity to try to politicize the event without knowing any of the facts of the event.
So he made an
Yeah, that place.
Checks out.
Yeah. So I made a little video of just from the kind of despicable press conference, or not fireside chat, whatever you want to call it, that he had immediately following the assassination. So I thought I'd play that right here. Okay, there we go.
Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination.
That was a
Take
quick
two.
clip.
Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives.
All right. So, Rob, what do you think of that? What do you think of the
I mean, he was all he was doing was describing himself.
Yeah, he could have been talking into a mirror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Which, of course, we know he's not doing that with reflection.
Right. So, Brooke, you mean the way he called out people that used
yeah, like the Nazis and Hitler and the violence and look. I mean, look what he does. I mean,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
he's.
I mean, for God's sakes, he's threatening to go to war with Chicago.
I know.
You think they told him that's part of America?
But
Right.
but if we're going like he pussied out on Chicago, didn't he? He bitched
Yeah, he's
out.
going to Memphis instead.
yeah, he did.
You know,
Oh.
Trump loves to beat his chest and hear himself talk, and he
Mhm.
thinks the people are scared of him. Fuck that fool. Fuck that traitor, child molester, rapist, felon, right up his ass in a
Thief.
prison cell. But
Thief.
look, go ahead.
He's a thief.
Well, yeah, of course. I
He's a
mean,
flat out thief.
all politicians are thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's just-
but he was
he's
a thief long
disgusting.
before he was a politician too.
True.
But you know, Trump is pushing one particular narrative like he always does, and
Yeah,
the left
none of those
are coming
crimes
back,
were perpetrated by left wing.
but the left
assailants.
is responding with their own stupid questions, and it's staggering to me that I feel like the obvious question isn't being asked. So let me just pose a question to you guys. Let me just take control for just a quick second here. So this is the man that assassinated Charlie Kirk. Supposedly, right? He's in custody. I guess they're saying he has it. Look at this kid. Okay, so now what does this guy, what do these kids
Mhm.
and these kids and this kid and what do they all have in common?
They're all
Crazy
kids.
eyes.
They're all fucking children. Now listen, these are children who
Yeah.
during the COVID and it's a documented thing that kids of a certain age range during COVID fell into what they call the algorithm, right? So nobody is asking themselves why these people of these particular age group with these particular dispositions, why they are so quickly not just turning to violence, but they are turning to murder or assassinations, but they're doing them on mass levels. What happened? Why are all these kids suddenly militarized and weaponized and acting out so egregiously? Like, we could say, what's their political affiliation? Are they right? Are they left? Why does that matter? Why are we focusing on the wrong part of the fucking story here?
Exactly.
Why are children killing people?
Killing more. Is it
The
One
availability and
doesn't have
ease
our
of
children?
acquisition of guns.
Okay, that's a fair answer, but it's always been easy to get a gun. When I was 15, I could have got a gun down behind the Safeway. Getting a gun has never been hard. But now
Right.
kids are not only getting guns, they're getting military grade weapons, and they're carrying out planned killings.
Assault
Yeah.
rifles.
Well, this kid,
Well, not only
this
that,
kid
but
grew up
now
in a
they're-
this kid grew up in a house of guns, and
They all
well, not
yeah, it's he's a Mormon in Utah.
that guy.
Go ahead, Will.
Keep in mind, kids are able.
You're breaking up over there, Will.
I'm sorry, yeah, Will, you're getting bad
Lost you
audio
for a
there.
sec.
I'll jump in
Yeah,
there.
I
and
cut
will
out
say
for a
that-
minute. I was going to
That's
say,
better.
well, a lot of these kids now are able to print these guns
That's true.
to
Right.
where they're
How
they're,
many
they're
of these
untraceable.
kids did it?
Didn't even think
Well,
about
you
But
that.
that's
know
not
what
what. But come on, that's okay. Yeah, sure. A lot of kids can print guns, but they're not going out and buying 3D printers. And these guns that they are confiscating are not resin; they are metal. They are bought assault
They're
weapons.
real,
Yeah.
regular bot guns.
Well, what the regime will have you believe, or what they want you to believe, the narrative right now, they want you to believe that it's somehow related to transgender
Of course.
psychology or some sort of transgender relationship that personally I don't feel exists, but
Yeah.
people have bought into it. Now,
Okay, so then let me present this.
okay.
Who gives a good goddamn if this guy had a thing for a transgender person? Who gives a good
Right.
flying?
The point
What
is,
if I
the
did? What
point
if
is,
I
he
was a
probably
trans girl?
he probably didn't, but it's causing problems for transgender people
Right,
anyway.
Yeah,
because that's
especially
one of the
when
main
you've got
Trump
when you've
narratives.
got Trump.
Exactly.
Especially when you've got Trump who doesn't have all the facts, just lets anything that comes to his brain spew out of his mouth. And now, to deflect everything else, now he's going after the transgender community, which he's been for a while. But all
Right.
it is another deflection.
Scapegoatism.
That's
He's
exactly
trying-
what it is.
So here's some breaking news that I don't want to assume that everybody knows, but and the original report came out of Fox News, so it's scurrilous right from the top. But apparently, Mr. Tyler Robinson was a roommate of a transgender person, and take that for what you will. I don't. More will come out about that, but that has been revealed as of this afternoon. So
So
But
the
that-
kids
But
really
this
was
source was
trans-
Fox News, you say. So,
correct.
Right.
But it is corroborated by. I did see it corroborated by CBS or MSNBC. But there again, they're compromised as well. As we'll see, that we got a
But
news
it's-
item about
it's
MSNBC.
more than just that one source, though.
Yes, it is more than one source. And I think irregardless of that, to scapegoat any group of people for an egregious
Yeah.
crime committed by an individual is absolutely heinous, and it's right out of the Nazi playbook, in my estimation. I mean, you're
And
building,
this is not us calling him a Nazi. We're simply saying it's from the book.
whether you're transgender, it doesn't matter. If you're an American citizen, you're entitled to the rights of American citizenship. We talked about it last week. They're trying to take guns, the Second Amendment, away from transgender people based on that,
Guy, the one guy,
based on that alone. Whereas they're not transgender people. They're citizens. I mean,
How about
they're
cis white guy after cis white guy after cis white
people.
guy after cis white guy that's
Right,
been committing
right.
these crimes?
Yeah,
Mhm.
so maybe
And-
we should take guns away from cis white guys.
right.
Well, I
And-
mean, I brought
The
up I
bear,
brought up
thank you very much. No offense, guys, but the bear.
I brought up the picture though of these kids earlier to kind of help prove a point that it's not really a cis white guy. That's not just because
Well-
they're all young, skinny, and white. You know, there's
Let's-
the diversity.
Who did those
common
kids kill?
factor is the age.
Yes.
Who did those kids
Were
kill?
they just was
Yeah,
was
but
it
they
like
were-
were they like
Were they-
school shootings? Were they multiple shootings, or was it
Those
Like,
single one?
what compels a 12 or 13 or 14-year-old to go out and want to just murder a bunch of people? Like, and it's all in this.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
photos that I
Being
showed
bullied,
were,
a lot of things
meth.
could drive
I mean,
you
I
to that.
get that. I mean, I was bullied, and I never thought I'm gonna go shoot my school up.
No, you got
No.
me.
I would go get my brother to beat up the kids for me because they were all boys. So
Right.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I
when you
have
got-
reason to, but like you say,
Well-
bully. Really.
yeah, but the
I
other
was
thing is,
bullied bad,
too,
and
Yeah.
but here's
I
the
never
other thing,
thought-
guys.
I
That's
wanna
just
get a gun
kind
and
of always
kill
been
him.
my assumption is that they were bullied and they wanted.
I would have
revenge on
killed
somebody.
myself before I thought to go to
Wait a
murder.
minute. Will,
Okay,
what
Aaron,
did
though,
you
you just
I was
yeah,
going to
Aaron
say
just
that,
made a real
that
good point.
you've
I
got
always assumed.
RFK
Yeah, it's an
in
assumption.
front of Congress telling people, oh, these kids are starting to go around shooting people because of video games and overdosing on mental meds.
right?
Well,
Right.
you know,
That's
people
out
were
of 10.
killing themselves
That's
because
not-
of
that's
Ozzy,
not
right?
it.
There was always
right,
a
there's always
reason.
a reason.
I mean,
Well,
hell,
okay.
I grew up watching Wile E. Coyote. You don't see me blowing people up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only did that twice.
I mean, we're at what
Yeah.
about 30 years after Columbine now?
And I never
Yeah.
shot anybody, but I've been shot.
Well, okay, so it's been widely
27-ish.
reported, and we'll get back to the
Are we
story.
going to glaze right over Lisa just telling us she's been
We'll get
shot?
back to
Yeah,
it.
I'm
We'll
just
get
like,
back
what
to it.
the hell?
Okay, it was a BB gun, but my brother did it, and I
Oh.
She's
still
going to
did
take you down a rabbit hole over a BB gun. Win. So
I still have a BB in me.
But okay, it's been widely reported. Normally, we like to have the receipts or whatever. We'd like to show a graph, but it has been
Yeah.
widely reported over the last few days on multiple networks that 0.11% of all mass shootings since 2013 have been committed by transgender.
Yeah, it was like less than a whole
Perpetrators.
percent.
It's a very minuscule amount. Now,
Sad that we have that big a number.
ironically, when Kirk was shot, he was responding to a question about just that. And the very last words out of his mouth was, because the person had asked him about, the percentage of LGBTQ perpetrators that committed crimes, and his answer was, "Are you including gang
Violence. Yeah.
violence?" So I would have loved to hear what he would have had to say had he not been interrupted. And I also would like to say that Kirk is, we're not here
I could give a shit what he had to say myself.
I think it would be telling.
you,
I understand what you're saying, Aaron, but I think it would be. I would love to extrapolate on because what I think he was suggesting is that the gang violence
Gangs
should
of
not be included in
transgender
the
people.
statistics because they were inconsequential because the
It was
people,
irrelevant to the question.
which I don't think
Yeah.
it is irrelevant at all.
To
Because
the question. That
Right.
specific question.
I think he was trying to steer it to another direction.
Mm-hmm.
right,
God, this meme I saw. It's the one thing I won't share. It's the sickest, darkest joke. But I'm gonna describe it to you.
I know,
Now I
dude.
wanna see
Jesus
it.
Christ, don't be a tease.
You're right.
I want to see it.
It's I don't know how I could, if I text it to Phil, can he share it?
That's like somebody saying I make the best fucking
Yeah.
Bloody
Well,
Mary
I
ever,
wouldn't
but
want
you
to. I wouldn't want to share it publicly or claim it. But
Yeah, I
it's
have to
sick
look
as
at it.
fuck.
Because he's the judge.
yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay,
Uh,
all right, fair enough.
He'll forward it to you guys.
If you want to get kicked out of our fantasy baseball league, I think putting that in the chat would do it.
Right. Yeah. Aaron and I have been stirring them up a little bit.
No, they started it.
They did.
There were 5 Charlie Kirk posts, and then I said I didn't see any of this outpouring of grief and sympathy when the Minnesota lawmakers were shot, and apparently none of them had even heard of it.
Well,
but you know that also touches on
Fox News.
Yeah.
That touches on the brutality and the different aspects of the killings, right? Because you've got what happened over at the Jewish school.
That guy dressed up as a cop, knocked on their door at 2 a.m. and fucking shot him in the head and shot their dog.
Well, there was a police officer named David Rose just last month. Was shot and killed while defending a federal building. And last I heard, he's not being laid in states in the rotunda. You know,
that's kind of infuriating. They're putting the flag at half-mast for Charlie Kirk, but not for any of these other shootings. Not for the school shooting earlier in the day.
Nope.
No.
I know. I went over to my bank over to Navy the other day, and they were at half-mast. And I said, "This isn't for fucking Charlie Kirk, is it?" And she goes, "Well, that 9/11." Oh, okay. I'll take
it was
9/11.
9/11. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she said, "Yeah." When I asked, I was like, "Really?" Yeah. So the whole bank is just Republican run? Is that what I'm hearing?
There's like an executive order now that flags are half-mast. Or whatever.
Well, nobody.
Even though technically his executive orders are only pertaining to like Washington, I'm sure the bank isn't going to be held responsible for, but still.
Nobody deserves what happened.
Everybody's afraid not to at the
Nobody deserves what happened.
Performative politics.
It was actually a tragedy. He had poison mind. I think he poisoned a lot of young minds. I think that he had a lot of bad ideas. Mm-hmm. One thing I will give him, I'll give him credit for bringing the discussion to people who opposed him and trying to create a dialogue. And that was I don't want to say admirable, but it was it's a way we should be able to talk about our issues, right? We talk about having somebody on our show that has an opposing point of view, but it's increasingly difficult when one side will not accept facts. They will not accept the truth. They will, if they don't like the truth, they'll either try to refute it with a lie or simply not respond to it and move on.
Divert from the question or divert from the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right.
Look over there.
Right.
Yeah. But again, and I hate to keep repeating myself, but I'm putting a lot of fault here over on the left side of the line because they aren't asking the right questions. We know that the right is going to divert because really what it breaks down to is Trump doesn't want the world to know that he fucks children.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's doing everything. And, I've heard the theories that, he had, Charlie Kirk assassinated to divert. That's a little extreme. Would I put it past Trump? No. But I doubt that's the case.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is what makes it true.
They do say that Kirk was for releasing all the Epstein files for what that's worth.
Oh.
That's worth a lot. It's just like that demon Hayes and Green, taking the side of the survivors. That was not doing the right thing. That was, maybe with Mays it was. I've never seen that hag of a woman show any emotion other than rage than when she ran out of the room crying from the victims. So I'll give her a little bit of credit. But Green is just trying to save her failed fucking career. She is done in politics and she knows it. She was just, a year ago talking about Jewish space lasers and all kinds of crazy conspiracies. And let's also
remember, I think her district eats that shit up.
Let's remember these kids who were doing these shootings were helped conditioned by Trump's first term, how he brainwashed and conditioned these kids' parents. And then it carried over to now.
With Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's like I think she's a crackpot. I don't agree with anything. I do give her a little bit of credit for supporting the victims of Epstein. I think that takes some courage for her to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that the Democrats are happy to have her do that. They're still opposed to
Put
her.
this one vote closer.
But,
Anyway.
But yet they still had 51 senators deny releasing the Epstein files, even though there's a movement, an obvious bipartisanship movement to make this happen. When it comes down to it, Green still pussied out. She voted no, right?
I don't know how she voted. Well, 51, she must have. I thought
all the
4
Republicans voted to block, but yet she's standing on the side of the victims.
like 4 Democrats voted for it too. Voted to block it.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder
unusual-
how deep they are on that list.
Yeah, no shit.
Exactly.
Because I'm not that guy who says, let's forgive the Republicans. If Bill Clinton is on that list, burn Bill fucking Clinton right next to Trump.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Anybody else on that list?
Absolutely.
There was a list released the other day, an informal list. It had people like Bruce Willis on it. It had
Hi, Bruce.
Yeah.
Kate Blanchett was on it. I mean, there were some surprising names on that.
But we also do have to consider that Epstein liked to throw his big parties full of celebrities on the island too.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of these people are caught up in the vortex.
Yeah, if it's a situation of they were there once.
And that's what Trump should be leaning on. He should be leaning on, of course I've been to the island for one of the huge parties.
Yeah.
He should be playing like, yeah, I was there, but I'm innocent.
Of course I've flown on his plane 7 times.
What he should do is put his stupid ass in the air, just like Nixon. Resign, get Vance to sign him a pocket pardon, and then he needs to just vanish to Switzerland or Russia or whoever will have him.
Yeah.
The thing is, he can't stand to lose or admit defeat.
I love it. Stand by your die on this hill, Trump. As long as you die, just die on this hill. Whatever.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Michael Jackson, David Copperfield.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
David
Copperfield.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard other weird David Copperfield shit in the past too.
I have too. Yeah.
I actually haven't.
We try to be careful not to bring up things that are overly dramatic or overly paranoid. Conspiratorial. That's something we usually.
Well, we are close friends with conspiracy nuts. We aren't.
We all know some conspiracy nuts.
Although, of course, I do believe that. Well, never mind.
But I wanted to bring up the idea that Aaron brought to my attention today, and I'd heard this term recently in the news and didn't really grasp what he was talking about. But it is the
the Groyper War.
The Groyper War.
Yes. What is a Groyper?
Let me pull up the actual article so I don't get any of it wrong.
I have like an anecdotal idea of it now, but I don't.
Yeah, go ahead and sketch it. It's basically a civil war in the Republican Party,
right?
And the Groypers are the more, I guess, hardcore wing, and that's what this Robinson guy was.
Yeah,
and they were anti. Who's the leader of it, Phil? Do you remember?
Nick Fuentes.
Nick Fuentes is kind of the head guy of that. And it's like an ongoing feud with Turning Point and Charlie Kirk. And it started as like a meme war, and it's been getting, more and more violent. And now I need to find that article.
Well,
when did a meme come out to violence?
This murderer, he was fascinated by memes. He was obsessed with them, and that's what was apparently etched onto the bullet casings were all different memes. The one that hit him was something about noticing your bulge, and it had an OWO, which is like a furries looking thing. I guess the W makes a beak, or maybe it was an M.
Yeah. Well, the idea is that Kirk's faction of MAGA had become too corporate. That when you went to these events, he was trying to sell you shots, Schlotzskys or whatever you call them, tchotchkes. That he was making buku bucks off of it. That he was kind of
He was
cannibalizing.
fundraising off of. He was more into cozying up to donors than the cause or whatever.
And the Goipers are more hardcore. They were more. They thought of themselves as probably more conservative on immigration issues and shit like that. I don't know. It's who's to say whether or not that was a motivating factor for this kid. Again, it really doesn't even, that doesn't matter either. It was an individual acting on their own volition. And to try to pin it on over 50% of the people in this country is absolutely terrifying. For the President of the United States to go out and say that he's going to exact vengeance on everyone that he claims is involved in this murder, meaning you,
mainly the trans community.
Well,
and Liz.
The violent left.
The violent left.
How many
violent radical.
Yeah.
Right.
How many?
I found the Groiper thread. If you want me to go over it.
Spell that, by the way.
Groyper. So
sounds like pot sticker sauce.
This is a thread from Threads by someone named Eric Veland, Veland. Thread. Charlie Kirk was a victim of the Groiper War, a MAGA civil war started by Nick Fuentes. 1. The MAGA movement has always been at war with itself. What started as the Groiper War in 2019, meme-driven ambushes of Charlie Kirk and other conservative darlings, has now ended in something darker. Kirk dead, shot on a college stage. 2. The Groipers, led by Nick Fuentes, styled themselves as real conservatives. They despised Kirk's Turning Point USA, calling it Conservative Inc., too soft on immigration, too cozy with donors, too deferential to Israel, too accepting of LGBT allies. 3. 3. Their tactic was simple. Swarm campus Q&As, ask barbed questions about race, sexuality, and Israel, then blast clips online. Kirk, Dan Crenshaw, Don Jr., and Ben Shapiro were all targets. 4. Kirk became their favorite punching bag. To them, he was the smiling mascot of a hollowed-out right, all merch tables and donor money, none of the blood and soil nationalism they wanted. 5. The Groiper War didn't end. It simmered. Through Trump's term, through 1-6, through years of escalating rhetoric, Kirk kept touring, raising money, branding himself the youth face of MAGA. The Groipers kept mocking him as a fraud. 6. On September 10th, 2025, Kirk was on stage at Utah Valley University. A sniper's bullet killed him in front of thousands. The suspect, Tyler Robinson, 22, later arrested with engraved bullet casings bearing what amounted to role play. 7. Whilst entertaining conspiracies was fun, the truth is even more delightful. MAGA are eating their own. 8. This is the MAGA civil war, not left versus right, but right versus right. Groipers versus Turning Point USA, Fuentes versus Kirk, actual Nazis versus Conservative Inc., the meme war turned real war. 9. The question now, retaliation. Kirk's death will still be used as martyrdom fuel by his allies. The risk of counter-violence against Antifa, against leftists, against trans people, against anyone painted as responsible other than RWNJ, right-wing nut job, I had to look that up, RWNJ cis white male is high. Here's the last one, 10. The Groiper War showed us how far the right could turn on itself. The Kirk assassination showed us how bloody it can get. The MAGA Civil War isn't coming, it's here. Who's next? End of thread.
Okay. So the media is not taking that very seriously. Like I said, I've heard it thrown around a little bit. But I don't know.
The Groiper idea?
I don't know how instrumental that might be to this, but to go out without any information at all and say it was definitely one sector of our society that was responsible for that.
That's just wrong.
There are other possibilities. There's a motivation behind this. It's a complicated thing. It's not. I feel salted. I think the reason I wanted to do this when Rob brought it up is because I feel I feel I've been accused. just because
Yeah.
of the way I believe. I feel like
Yeah.
we've all been accused.
Of
The president
what?
of being complicit in this murder.
Of being violent libtards.
That's
Well,
what President Trump
radicalized.
is.
You know what? You know what he's accused of?
Well,
Kidnapping.
34
Yes,
times
I
over,
do.
yeah. Yeah. Well, okay,
Kinda
maybe
quiet over
maybe
there.
fucking bothers me. Okay, but
13-year-olds, dude.
Yeah.
exactly. But the right is, they seem completely emboldened to the point where you mentioned blood and soil. Leaving
Yeah.
that off. They use
That's,
terms like blood and soil. That's National Socialism talk.
Right.
Blood and soil. Right?
That's an anti-Semitic slogan.
Right. And then we had another instance where they said the quiet shit out loud last week when, what was his name? Matt Forney proudly proclaimed that the death of Charlie Kirk was their Reichstag fire.
Yeah,
Well,
that was a bad one.
That's fucked up.
That was stupid as hell. It's like,
But
if you were
but
trying,
is it false?
it's not false, but that's what something that we should be accusing them of, not something they should be taking ownership of. Like,
Yeah.
I thought the reason they called White Castle sliders is because they slid right through you. It's a very disparaging name. Oh,
feel
we'll
like
go ahead and use that. They're
Well, Phil,
emboldened.
why don't you? A lot of people don't know what that means. What are we talking about?
Yeah. What's a White Castle slider, Phil?
Right. So the Reichstag fire, I keep wanting to say flower, Reichstag fire. It was committed by
White Castle.
a communist.
White Castle makes little square hamburgers that they put a lot of onions on them and I guess a pickle, and they go right through you. And they were called sliders before there was such a thing
They're
as a
absolutely
small
delicious.
hamburger called slider.
Yeah. And then he said, why don't we take our shitty product and just call it what everybody else is calling it? And
Own the name. Bring it. Own it.
they're calling them
Own
sliders.
the
'cause they-
name.
Yeah.
Own the
All
name.
right, so back to my story. We had a communist in the Third Reich who allegedly burned down the old Reichstag in Berlin. Right, it was lionized as an act of terrorism by Nazi political enemies.
Yeah.
Orchestrated by.
It was used to
the Reich.
justify some really harsh totalitarian tactics.
Right, it gave Hitler the.
They burned down their own place and blamed it on the other
Well,
side.
it took away people's civil rights,
Mhm.
their guns, took everything. He used it as an excuse to consolidate his power. And the guy probably didn't even commit the crime. It was staged. It's more
You
like
didn't take away their matches.
I mean, the Nazis wanted to eliminate the old guard. They wanted to get rid of they wanted to get rid of the Reichstag. They didn't want this. So for Matt Forney to use that as an example of something that his party wants to do, that aspires to do, that's all you need to know. They're taking it straight from the totalitarian playbook.
One thing I keep saying about Trump in particular, but MAGA as a whole, is when somebody tells you exactly who they are, believe them the first fucking time. Why did we give him so many opportunities to show us that Trump is, in fact, a United States traitor? Every diehard MAGA is, in fact, a traitor to this country because you are going against the fundamentals and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights that made us free from another country. You are now going against that. Donald Trump, among all of his flaws, is also a goddamn traitor. I'm the owner of the Antisocial Network. You got a problem? You fucking bring it to me, and I'll tell you to your face. Donald Trump is a traitor. And eventually, despite what the riggings he's done to the Supreme Court, eventually he is going to answer for his crimes.
If he lives long enough.
And
I hope he
I'm the
does.
one in the wheelchair.
Yeah, he's going to be known throughout history as the most failing president in American history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
I always feel like he's going to be gone. You know, he's not in good health. He's going to be gone, and it's all of his followers and sycophants that are going to be paying for his crimes.
But is there anybody with a big enough personality to carry on his thing? I hope not.
It's sure not J.D. Vance.
Well, okay, and
I don't think
think
Trumpers really like Vance much.
Yeah, get Couchfucker in charge. That's a good move.
Yeah,
Couchfucker.
I think they prefer the orange foundation to the eyeliner for whatever reason.
No, see, I think that Vance is such a weakling little twat of a person. If you put him in the big chair, he would be head low and terrified because of all the damage Big Daddy just did that now is his problem. I say, Trump, man, have a heart attack, die quickly, get cancer, die slowly. Either way, just fade the fuck away.
Die.
On live TV.
Die on live TV. You can all see it.
Thank you, Rob, for saying the things I'm not.
I'm not going to actively wish him dead, but I probably wouldn't be disappointed.
I've never, by the way, done that to anybody in my life.
To quote the Republican Party, aren't we all dying?
Oh yeah,
Joni Ernst.
I thought everybody knew that. I'm sorry.
Die on your own sword.
Hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Right.
Well, I don't know if everybody told you, Rob, but I've got my own personal nickname for Trump.
Okay.
I refer to him as Pumpkin Spice Palpatine.
Pretty good one.
that's a good one.
Come to the orange side.
No, God, that's good.
Good.
Into the orange.
Flow through you.
And you know what's amazing is I've never once blamed the pandemic on Trump or the Republicans. Never once. But I do blame their horrible management of the pandemic for as high as the body count was.
Yeah.
And after we came out of the pandemic, he continued to do so much damage. He was convincing his own base to drink bleach, for God's sakes. And they still voted him back.
Yeah.
Right.
In chat.
Charlie Kirk, big anti-masker, by the way.
I dropped
And take
forward
a look at what RFK Jr.'s doing now. I mean, here in California, we had a child actually die from complications of measles.
Yeah.
right, and it was virtually, there was no measles, right? I mean, and it's making a comeback.
And let's look at the people in charge,
Texas
right? What business does
yeah.
Kennedy have running anything health-oriented, Mr. Wormbrain? Where does he get off?
anything?
Where does Cash Patel, a podcaster, okay? That's like somebody making me the Secretary of Defense. Why the fuck would anybody do something so stupid?
Fucking FBI.
Right. Oh, you
And
just-
Well, you're in charge of the FBI.
And keep in
It's not
mind,
even
guys,
top, as far as I know.
Ice
well, keep
Barbie.
in mind, after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, now Cash Patel is got a spotlight on him because now they're wondering, well, what the hell? Why weren't you able to find this guy, and why weren't you able to protect him?
Yeah.
As in
I
Charlie
kind
Kirk.
of hope that Trump is a catalyst when he's done for us changing the foundation of politics, right? So everybody
I
who
think
is
ultimately
really
he's going to have to be. Yeah.
everybody who is a viewer of the network knows about my personal past, my battles with drugs, and my legal trouble I got into accordingly. So with my criminal record, I cannot be a city alderman, but I can be the fucking president. Don't we need to change this? Do you want this fucking face in the White House? No, you do not.
I'll trade.
I don't know, man. You gonna give me that good time slot we were talking about the other day?
Yeah, kind of a Lemmy vibe going there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm so bad, baby, I don't care. Ooh.
All right.
See, that I would vote for.
Yeah.
See, my problem is I'd be the president who would like sit across from Putin and be like, you know what, motherfucker, let's step outside and settle this. What do you mean? But then again, he was a big higher up.
He'd be okay with that.
Putin would kick his
That
ass.
fucking movie.
Yeah, he was high rank
Electrolytes.
KGB.
I could probably kick his
They have
ass.
electrolytes.
That's it. We are
Yeah,
living.
no, no, we
Yeah,
all-
electrolytes.
How many
It-
shirtless photos of Trump are circulating on a horse?
Soon.
We're living in the horror version of Idiocracy.
We're gonna be watering our plants with fucking Gatorade because it has electrolytes.
You mean toilet water?
You mean water, like out of the toilet?
Go away, I'm Peyton.
Go.
Robbie said something that made me think. It's like you're talking about changing politics, and I appreciate what you're saying. I understand that, but I think one thing that we're like drifting way off of is what our forefathers intended this country to be. They took it for granted that everyone would want to be caretakers of freedom and democracy, and did not account for the amount of greed and overreach that we're seeing right now. They thought that there'd be a certain amount of self
Regulation.
Regulation.
Oh, they thought a lot of things that wasn't true, right? Like a well-formed or a well-armed militia. But that was back in the days when muskets had to take balls and you had to load every shot. The idea of automatic weapons was never even
and or pistols. They did have pistols, but
they had to do the same
they
thing
were
with
like
them.
never
Right.
Had to use the rod on the pistol too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like the forefathers laid out a set of good ideas,
on.
but that's what the amendments to the Constitution are. What is the Constitution at the end of the day? It's a piece of paper and it's an agreement. It's a contract. Contracts are always up for renegotiation. That's what every amendment is. Now, what Trump, if he had a brain in his fucking head, should be doing is trying to get new amendments added in rather than trying to dissolve the whole document.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted to do a constitutional convention.
Well, he's trying to do everything by executive order. I mean, he's just executive order.
Constitutional
And
amendment
go
has to be
far
voted
with it.
state by state.
Right.
Well, like I said before on the show, basically Trump
Ratified
is just
state by
wiping his ass with the Constitution. To him, it's
Exactly.
nothing more than toilet paper.
Mhm.
It's an
Right.
obstacle.
We saw the
And
respect
that's
he
why
has
he
for
backed the
classified
deck.
documents too.
And that's
Yeah,
why
they were
he
literally
stacked the
in his
deck.
shitter.
Yeah, but that's why he stacked the deck when it came to the Supreme Court, because now he's got the Supreme Court overriding the Constitution because they were the ones that dug their own graves when they gave him presidential immunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's
It
be
does
honest.
prevent him from his attacks on Obama that he was planning.
Well, let's be honest with his little changes that he's making. The Supreme Court rulings. Just because the Supreme Court makes a ruling does not mean that's law of the land forever. That can and will be changed.
Yeah,
These Supreme
later
Court justices that are clutching their pearls and
Look at Roe
holding
versus
Daddy
Wade.
Donald Trump nuts so tightly in their mouths, they're not going to have a career forever.
Alito, Kavanaugh, Judge Thomas.
Thomas,
These people-
especially
Right.
Kavanaugh.
So eventually, new
Alito.
laws are going to be enacted that will void what Trump has done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
gonna
who will be?
take place.
Yeah, who's going to be president when the next justice is
Right.
I think.
appointed?
I thought for sure Harris was going to win it. Which, by the way, I'm going to go on record right now as saying I don't think Harris was a good choice for the
No.
president of this country.
They didn't
She
have
was
much
better
time
than
to
Trump.
change.
The lesser of the two evils. And
She wasn't
Well,
a good pick,
No,
but she
no,
was
at all.
really our only chance. They're talking about her running again, which I hope to fuck does not happen. If that
Well, Biden-
doesn't happen, I believe the Democrats will win next time.
Biden left her. with
Democrats
almost
always
impossible-
take the most
what I
middle of
said.
the road candidate, though. That's the problem.
Yeah,
But I
but
did-
here's what I've
They're
always
afraid
said,
to go
Rob.
left.
Here's what I've always said. I said that when the Democrats forced Biden out of the race and put Harris in, they set us up to fail because of the simple fact that Harris did not have ample opportunity or time to create a clear-cut platform, so she decided to run on the same things that Biden ran on.
That's a very good point, Will. She basically became a substitute teacher. You know,
Yes.
Biden left in no time.
I'm just gonna say, if you're politically motivated, then and you're smart about it, then you're ready for that. You knew this might happen.
But she still whipped his ass in the one debate they had.
Yeah.
I thought, my
Yeah.
God, she just floored him.
She did.
He did whoop his ass, but the fact of the matter is, my opinion of the matter is, Democrats chose her because they thought not middle of the road. I believe they put their power behind the one they believe they can control the most,
Yeah.
and she was it for them.
Right.
Well, Biden did a terrible misdeed, I think, and we've got a nationally syndicated columnist who comes on our show occasionally named William Cooper, and he reached out the other day. He wants to come on again soon.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely. He doesn't do
Will-
weekends though, right?
No, he doesn't do weekends, but Will, he's been trying to keep us, a level head. Don't worry, he's a
We can count on the justice system. The Supreme Court's never going to let him get away with that.
constitutionalist. He believes
Yeah.
in the integrity of the United States, that it will crush Trump. It would crush a left-wing uprising the same way.
Yeah, his book's called Stress Test, and it's basically that's what it is, a stress test on the
There's
checks
one
and
over there.
balances of the government. And when he comes on, we just kind of check in, what have the courts been doing?
Right.
Last time they were ruling against Trump by and large, but now I think it might be the scale might have tipped.
So I'm really curious to see where he's at right now, what the temperature is with Will. So we'll be having him on soon.
Cool.
All right. So
Basically, Google Chrome is overloading my CPU.
It'll do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I need to find another browser that won't do this.
okay.
So I may have to go to Opera next time.
It's like a code, a memory leak, or a code.
No, basically what it is, I've got, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 18 instances or processes of Google Chrome, and it's
I got 18
overloaded.
tabs open.
No,
Oh,
I've only got 2.
you're just counting them on Task Manager.
Yep. And there's one in
All right,
particular that keeps going between high and moderate.
Okay, we don't want to get this started. What Brooke doesn't know is we have IT professional, IT professional, IT professional.
Yeah, it's turned into a help desk call.
Yeah.
Tech talk. That's cool.
Well, I'm
though.
here one and here too.
I know nothing.
So, Rob, I told you last week that I had been religiously trying to keep it to an hour. I've been trying to be an hour because in my mind you were like, a television producer was trying to slot Monday night, 8, 9, 10. I thought you really had a rigid 1 hour thing. And that kind of frustrated. Last week we had more on the table. Will wanted to talk about the Hyundai ICE invasion last week, where
We should have stopped and started and done a part 2.
we probably should have.
Pretty much. Yeah. Look, Phil, man, if you guys feel like,
You can stop now.
Yeah, this seems like it could be some off-air stuff.
yeah, right. Since we are on the air, if you feel like you need to go longer than an hour, we'll just change the time slot because you are right. We do have the asylum that comes on after you typically.
Yeah. So what I want to do is we have
That was Harley and the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we have our fuck ups of the fortnight. We got 6 minutes to do it. 5 minutes to do
Play it.
So come on, hurry up.
Let's go.
You want to just try to do it rapid fire here?
I
Kind of a
mean,
Ginger Marianne thing, Brooke. You pick one over the other.
All right.
You'll get it.
Here we go. Rebecca Cutler firing MSNBC reporter David Dowd because he had made statements about the assassination versus Cash Patel announcing the wrong people arrested.
did you see that a Mexican senator had to resign because of something he said about the assassination?
No.
There was some political pressure from the State Department. It's crazy.
Yeah, this always generates more. It always generates more. It's typical to get it.
A little bit of
I
discussion.
mean, I saw that story like 5 minutes before air.
All right, Rob, which one of those is a bigger fuck up?
I'm going to go with Patel just because I hate that man so very, very much. He is so bad for us. I mean, firing a reporter because, reporters have lost their jobs based on pressure from Trump. They've been sued for hundreds of millions and paid it out. Whatever. That's just douchebaggery. Kash Patel is doing active, legitimate daily harm to us.
All right. How about you, Brooke? What do you think?
I really
I
really
forgot
don't
the first
know. I can't
option.
really speak on something that I haven't really.
Yeah, you haven't heard about the
I
reporter.
haven't. Yeah, I've been.
You
Doing
can abstain.
That's one
Yeah.
abstain. What about you, Will?
I got to go with Kash Patel. I mean,
Okay.
that guy was standing there like a deer caught in a damn headlight. So
Yeah.
Got the look. Aaron?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'll go Cash.
Okay, so it's Kash Patel, but
And real quick, what's funny, you hit that one right on the head, Will. When you're watching him on the scene, as he's just staring at all the real law enforcement officers as they walk by, glazed, just hoping that somebody tells him something or at least acknowledges him. He got none of it.
nothing.
So as Kash
That's awesome.
Patel moves on, so here's our next matchup. Trump blaming over 50% of the country for killing Charlie Kirk versus Matt Forney proclaiming the event the Reichstag fire, which we talked about earlier. So Trump versus Matt Forney.
Yeah, anything that has the name Trump first, that's the worst.
I got to go with Trump.
Okay.
Got to go with Trump.
Trump's the worst.
Trump is the worst ever, period.
Trump's the worst. He is.
Okay.
I'm
The
gonna
worst
go with
period,
the
president period, ever period.
Wait, who you going with, Lisa?
Mango Mussolini.
There's another nickname for you.
2 minutes and 10 seconds.
All right, here we go. Jesse Waters being a real dick and declaring war on half the world versus Nancy Mace basically just dressing down some reporter all over
We're about to go.
the assassination and blaming it on the right. But Nancy Mace versus Jesse Waters, basically. And Lisa, why don't you go first?
I almost don't have a dog in this fight.
There's I can tag on to the Nancy Mace. Before she knew who the shooter was, it was time to bring back the death penalty. When she found out that it was a MAGA white guy, it was Charlie
Nancy
Kirk
Mace.
would want us to pray for his soul. Yeah.
Great
Nancy
point.
Mace.
That gives me Nancy Mace too. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, she is pure evil. Any woman who goes out in front of the media on a public, like I could say fuck 97 times on Anti-Social Network, but I'm not going to say fuck once on NBC News.
All right. Will?
Honestly, I got to go with Jesse Waters.
Okay.
I mean, he's the one that's declaring civil war now.
Jesse Waters is a douche.
Yeah.
He can't proclaim
Who can
anything.
take him seriously is the thing.
Yeah. That's like how we
That do take him seriously. That's the problem.
Yeah, there are some sick people out there. Waters is kind of an asshole, but so I'm going to go with Nancy
45
Mace.
seconds.
All right, Trump again laying Kirk in state and flying the flags at half mast for him versus
The senators, the one from Utah.
Tyler Robinson, the shooter, of course. Robinson versus Trump.
Trump.
Always Trump.
Trump.
I believe that Trump has killed people too.
I'm going to go
Even
with
the dog said it was Trump. Did you hear it? Trump!
All right,
Yeah, it was my neighbor's dog.
Here we go. Round two. Kash Patel versus Trump firing the left.
Trump.
Or Trump condemning the left, I should say.
Trump.
I love it.
Rob?
Yeah,
That'd
no,
be Trump.
Yeah, it's
No,
gonna
no,
be
I'm
an
no.
it's gonna
Trump's
be
the
an all
good
Trump
guy.
second round.
Trump's innocent on that one.
He's innocent on everything. Everybody tells me how great it is.
It's not my fault.
It's not me.
I'm the greatest ever. Everybody says it.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
Trump.
because you pay them.
So
People are
Trump moves
saying-
on, right? Moves on to the final. So it's Nancy Mace versus Trump.
Trump.
Trump. I'm on Trump, Lise.
Trump.
Trump. All right. So, okay, so now we got Trump versus Trump for the championship.
Uh,
All right. So Trump condemning the left to its political enemies versus Trump laying Kirk in state. Which is the most egregious fuck up?
Obama.
I'm-
Laying Kirk in state.
I'm
Nah,
most offended by the state funeral.
Microphone pick that up.
Okay.
I'm more
Well,
offended by the declaring the left as what was it? Dangerous. What are we now?
Yeah, I'm with you, Aaron. So who's the tiebreaker? That be
I don't know. There's 5 of us.
Yeah, there's 6 actually.
Obama.
Obama.
All right.
She's been talking to Trump.
I did get a real kick out of the comment that Obama made of Donald. I absolutely support you running for a 3rd term, but that means that I can run against you for a 3rd term. I loved it. Fuck yeah,
Yes,
dude.
do it. I'm gonna vote for a 3rd term.
For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. Trump is the fuck up, so it doesn't make any
Fuck
difference.
yeah, dude.
Good to
All
see you,
right, so
Rob.
there we
Thanks
go.
for. Nice to meet you, Brooke.
Nice to meet you.
See you
Nice
Sorry
guys.
I'm
to
not
meet you.
talking much. I broke my tooth. So I
Oh.
feel
Oh,
weird.
I got,
yeah.
I got
Yeah,
one
I-
of those too, but mine doesn't
You
hurt
know-
anymore.
Mine's my front tooth though. Like
Oh,
awesome.
I like how she's trying to, not throw me
She's-
under the bus, but I had
she's
to
a
tell her
trooper.
twice, and now she's got to get a tooth job.
I hope I got the right outro.
What do you tell a bitch with 2 black eyes?
Nothing.
Aaron,
She's already been so black.
Aaron, hang around
Yeah.
for a second.
Phil, share that meme with him.